All right, everyone. Today's video, we are going to make the jumping game. We're going to do some similar things we've done, but also just some slightly different things. So let's get into it. I'm in the My Stuff folder, and I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to start by changing the background. Of course, there's lots of different backgrounds you can do. I'm going to choose this just basic wall because I like that straight line there for my kind of ball to roll by. And I'm going to change Scratch to a different character. One of the reasons why is that Scratch's legs are pretty far apart. So when he jumps, he kind of lands on the ball quite a lot because he's so wide. So I want to change that to maybe a person with a skinny kind of legs. If it was like a dinosaur or really wide thing, it would be kind of too hard to do this game. So I'm gonna add just the ballerina, right? Like this bear, if it had to jump, it would kind of always land on the ball and it wouldn't really look right. So the ballerina is a pretty good character for this. So I'm gonna get rid of Scratch, get on the Scratch and put him in the garbage can. So I wanna set my ballerina in the right spot. So I can just drag her at the very beginning to where I want her. I'm gonna kind of like put her on that line there. And then I know that my go to X, Y changes, the numbers change on the X and Y to where exactly she is. So she's in the right spot. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. How about like that? So she's gonna go there and I need my green flag. Right, so when the green flag starts, she goes to that spot. That's basically all there really is to the game, the setup of the game. But next, I want to make her jump. So we know a lot about motion. She's going to go up and down. So the y-axis is going to change. We don't want her to like tilt her body and jump. We just want to go straight up and down. So there's a few ways I can do that. But I'll just keep it simple for now. And we're going to use the space bar. When the space bar is pressed, she's going to jump. So there are lots of different different ways of moving. We'll use a few different ones today. But what works well is doing a change Y by 10. So I'm going to change my Y by 10, which goes up, but 10 is just a little bit up, right? So let's see if I put it here. She just went up and I could go down. I want her to jump to about there, but I want her to go like in intervals. I don't want her just to like be like that. That's too fast. So I'm gonna put her as I'm gonna come back to my controls and put a repeat 10 times. Now she'll kind of go up in stages and it looks a lot more like a jump. So I'm gonna push that green flag to get her back in her spot. It looks more like a jump. I need to just do the same thing to get her back down. So I'll take another repeat and I'm gonna change Y now by -10. So she should go up and then come down. Push the green flag, she's there. Push the space bar. Yeah, it looks pretty good like a jump. I can alter that a little bit later if I need to based on what characters and things I chose. But so far, she's pretty good. The next thing I need to do is to create the ball to slide across this bottom. So I'm gonna make a new sprite and take the ball and I'm gonna move it right where I want it. And I kind of have the lines of the sidewalk, which kind of helps me. And I'm gonna put it like right there and it's gonna go. So I'm gonna go back and get the green flag because this ball just keeps going. I don't control it or anything, so I don't need any of the space bar arrows or whatever. When the green flag is clicked, I want motion. I want the ball to start moving. And I'm gonna use a slightly different one today. I'm gonna use a glide motion. Glide just slides across and it tells me directly where to go. So I'm gonna plug in the number I want and have it glide in to that spot. So I mean, it could go up here and then we'll glide on that angle, whatever. So the numbers here is where the ball is right now. I know I need to change just the X. The Y stays the same because the ball's not gonna go up or down. It's only gonna go left. And I know that left is kind of the negative numbers. So I could really change that to negative 217 and the ball is gonna come just like exactly where it is on this side. So if green flag is clicked, it goes there. I probably want the ball to go a little bit further to kind of go off the screen. So I'll make that number a little bit bigger. I'll make it like negative 240 and see what happens. Oh, so when I need the ball to go to my spot first. Sorry, I made a mistake. It was negative 99. So I gotta get it right back. I can change that later. So go to 216, and I'm just gonna type in negative 99 because that's what it was before. So the green flag is clicked, the ball goes there, and then it glides. So let's try that now. Good, it goes there, and then it should go back to that space, right? So I'm just gonna put that in a forever loop. So the ball just keeps going now. It's going super, super fast. So I'm gonna change that glide number to maybe 2 to kind of slow the ball down because I think you can't jump that much. Okay, so let me try it. I use the space bar, jumped. Looks like she can jump over it pretty well without kind of hitting it. So that's pretty good for now. So the next thing I want to do is make a second ball. So again, I come back and click the ball, and I'm really doing exactly the same thing as the first ball. So I'm going to go back to my first one. You hold it, and then the duplicate button appears. You can also drag it into the backpack as well, but let's just do it like that. I come to the second ball, I paste, and now I stop it. So I have the same exact code in both spots, which we've done this before, copy and paste. And what we know is gonna happen, the two balls are gonna go exactly to the same exact spot, start moving at the exact same time and do the exact same thing. It's gonna just look like one ball, right? So they're both doing exactly the same thing. So it's not quite so good. So I'm gonna take my second ball and do a few tricks to it. When the green flag is clicked, I want my second ball to kind of wait 1 second because it takes 2 seconds for the first ball to go across. If the first ball waits a second before it starts moving, it will be in between the other ball. So they'll each come like 1 second. Every second, a new ball comes. So I'm gonna say, wait 1 second, and I don't want it to wait 1 second every time, just that first one. So let's see what happens. So the other ball should kind of stay there and then go. Oh, let's do the green flag. Oh, we need the second ball to go to that spot kind of first. Okay, is that working right? So both balls, I want that ball to, a few things I can do. It's staying where it is. So what I'm gonna do is do a look, and I'm gonna hide the ball as soon as the green flag is clicked. So when the game starts, that second ball is hidden. It waits for a second, and then it gets shown, and then it does those things. So let's see if that fixes it. Okay, so now they're coming in the right sort of pattern, right? Okay, very good. So we have our balls rolling, we have our person jumping. The next thing we need to do is make a score. And we know how to do that. There's a few different ways we can do it. When the ball gets past the girl, we can get a point because she jumped successfully over it. Is one way to do it. Yeah, that's another way. We're going to do it slightly different though today, just to experiment with something different. So I'm going to go back to my girl to make the score. So we remember the score is in the variable, and I have to make a variable, and I'm going to call it score. Everything kind of stays the way it is, and hit OK. And I'm going to set my score. When the green flag is clicked, or when the game first starts, I want to set my score to 0. So set score to 0. Because the score might be 10 and I need it to go back to 0. So the score will be 0. The game goes on. Now I'm going to do it a little bit different this game. I'm going to do it where the girl is trying to jump over the ball, and she keeps, every time she jumps over the ball, she gets a point. And if she touches the ball, game over. So it's like who can get the most successful jumps in a row without messing up is kind of how this game works. You could do it with a timer. How many successful jumps do you do in a minute? Just a different way to do it. That probably has a little bit more code involved. This one's a little bit simpler for this game, and maybe later you try to do it the other way. But I'm going to go to the ball code and create my score here. So I'm going to just do a new when the green flag is clicked. For the score, we always want the score to be kind of working. So I kind of almost always, or maybe always, put it in a forever loop. And I'm going to do, I may backtrack a little bit. I'm going to do where the game ends here. So if the ball touches the girl, the game is over. So forever, it's always looking for this. It's forever looking for this situation. And that's going to be an if-then code. So if the ball is touching, so touching is sensing. And it's that very first one. Touching, let me move it over. I change the mouse pointer to ballerina. If the ball is touching the ballerina, then we're going to go to the controls and stop all. That's it. And then I can do the same exact thing for ball 2. So I can copy and paste that, bring it to ball 2, and do the same thing. So now if the ball touches the girl, the game's over. So let's see what happens. Oh. Good jump, but the score is not changing. The ball touched her, so the game would be over. So I need her score to change. And I'm just gonna go to the ballerina. This is like the simplest way to do it. And just say every time she jumps, she gets a point. Because if she lands on the ball, the game is over. So the point doesn't happen, right? So it will end the game. So I'm just gonna say this code right here for the space, she goes up, she goes down. Once she lands on the ground, she gets a point. So I'll go back to my variable and I'll change my score by 1. So if she lands, she gets the point. But if she touched the ball before she landed, the game ends. So let's see. I'm going to predict my score is about 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's 5, right? There you go. So that's it. We can, change some things. We might, decide this character. We want something different. Again, be careful with the wide body because they're going to hit the ball a lot. the ball might be too big, so I can bring the size down to say 80 or 70 or 50 or whatever, and then the game will be easier. I can speed up the ball, how fast it glides, to make it a little bit faster. That's gonna create a lot of different changes. We're using 2 seconds and 1 second, so everything is in a pattern. If you're change that too much, it will be very off how it works, and that might be almost impossible at some points to jump over the two balls because they're too close. But you can do that. You can change the way the score is kept, that if the ball reaches this X spot, this X spot, the point changes. You can do that. What else can you do to change things up? You could add a second player. That would be maybe confusing if there were two players, one in the middle, one at the end. That would probably be a little bit hard. But yeah, you can experiment a little bit with some of that stuff. But here is the basic ball game. All right, let's see those games.